Sharon's unraveling storyline has become a centerpiece of debate among fans. Her behavior throughout the murder investigation of Heather and the subsequent events surrounding Phyllis's accident leaves viewers with more questions than answers. Let's break it down. The most puzzling part of Sharon's situation is her unwavering insistence that she's guilty. Even though she has no memory of killing Heather, she's ready to turn herself in, claiming she deserves jail time. This over the top self blame has left everyone and their mothers frustrated. Why is Sharon so convinced of her guilt without any proof or recollection? Instead of seeking clarity about what transpired during her blackout, she appears oddly resigned, which doesn't align with her usually strong willed personality. It feels as if Sharon is in a mental fog, reacting to guilt rather than piecing together the truth. Adding to the drama is her missing phone, a crucial detail that spirals into chaos. When Heather died and Phyllis crashed her car, Sharon's phone was mysteriously being used to send text messages. How is that even possible when Sharon and Faith were searching for it at the same time? The text Phyllis received led her to believe Sharon was confessing to Heather's murder, which caused her to keep glancing at her phone while driving. The crash that followed could have been avoided entirely if someone else hadn't orchestrated this setup. On top of that, Nick's proactive step of testing Sharon's discarded medication suggests there's more to her uncharacteristic behavior. Could her pills be tampered with, intensifying her paranoia or creating false memories? I mean, we can't ignore her zombie like state, yet calm and detached even during the most stressful moments. Is a far cry from how Sharon normally reacts to crisis. Chance has also drawn criticism from fans. His investigation into Heather's death and the crash has been lackluster at best. Why isn't he digging deeper into Sharon's blackout period or the missing phone? Why hasn't he considered the possibility of a setup? It's as if the Genoa City Police Department operates on autopilot, missing obvious leads and leaving the audience to connect the dots themselves. Nick thankfully seems to be stepping up where Chance has fallen short, but even his involvement feels like a last minute effort. Sharon is drowning in guilt, convinced she's a danger to society, while Phyllis continues to plot and manipulate without batting an eye. Another point of contention among fans is why no one in Sharon's circle seems to be pushing for a psychological evaluation. Her behavior screams for professional help. She's zoned out, overly conciliatory, and lacks the fight she once had. Michael seems particularly negligent in this regard. How has he not noticed that his client's behavior is far from normal? And why hasn't her family taken action? This glaring oversight has left viewers exasperated. Sharon's mental health needs to be addressed before she spirals further. Phyllis's accident adds another layer of complexity to this tangled web. Phyllis claims she received a text from Sharon's phone urging her to meet, yet Sharon was busy searching for her lost phone. If Sharon didn't send those texts, who did? Was this part of an elaborate scheme to frame Sharon, or is there a more sinister explanation? Fans have speculated that someone might be using technology to impersonate Sharon, but the show has yet to reveal the truth. Regardless, the accident highlights the dangers of distracted driving, with Phyllis looking at a phone instead of focusing on the road. What's more frustrating for viewers is the lack of resolution after months of build-up. The storyline feels scattered, with too many unanswered questions. Who killed Heather? What caused Phyllis's crash? Is Sharon truly guilty or is she being manipulated? These lingering mysteries have kept fans hooked, but the slow pace of revelations has also tested their patience. The show needs to start tying up these loose ends to maintain its momentum. Ultimately, Sharon's storyline is a roller coaster of emotions, from her misplaced guilt to the bizarre events surrounding her phone and medication. While fans are eager for clarity, the twists and turns keep them coming back for more. Whether Sharon finds redemption or succumbs to her guilt, one thing is clear: Genoa City is never short on drama. Sharon's storyline continues to stir up emotions as fans wrestle with the unraveling mystery surrounding her behavior and the events involving Heather and Phyllis. One glaring detail that hasn't received enough focus is the stark change in Sharon's personality compared to her past. Historically a fighter, she now appears passive, almost as if she's a shadow of herself. Her lack of resistance to the accusations is concerning, and her calmness doesn't feel like acceptance, it feels unnatural, as if something deeper is going on. Her family's response, or lack thereof, is equally puzzling. While Nick taking her discarded medication for testing was a smart move, it feels like too little, too late. How has Sharon's detached state gone unnoticed for so long? Faith and Mariah, who usually stand by her fiercely, seem too caught up in their own lives to notice the glaring red flags. Even Adam, who has a complicated history with Sharon, hasn't been as involved as fans might expect. Their absence from her corner highlights a broader issue in Genoa City, a lack of accountability for supporting loved ones through tough times. Another aspect that's flown under the radar is Heather's role in this narrative. While much of the focus has been on Sharon's possible involvement in Heather's death, little attention has been paid to Heather herself. Who was she with before her death? Did she have enemies or unresolved conflicts? Exploring Heather's connections could open new avenues in this case and shift some of the weight off Sharon's shoulders. Instead, the show has left this thread dangling, frustrating viewers who crave more depth to the mystery. Then there is the lingering question of Sharon's memory gaps. Memory loss in soap operas often hint at something bigger, like hypnosis, drugging, or even brainwashing. While the medication she's been taking is under scrutiny, it's equally plausible that someone manipulated Sharon during her blackouts. Could someone be planting false memories, or is Sharon suppressing something traumatic? These possibilities add a layer to her guilt and the way she's internalizing the blame. Chance, on the other hand, continues to underwhelm as an investigator. His lack of urgency or curiosity about Sharon's missing phone and the surrounding circumstance is baffling. In any other town, these details would be central to cracking the case, but in Genoa City, they're treated as afterthoughts. This level of incompetence isn't just frustrating, it feels like a plot device to stretch out the storyline. Fans are left wishing for a more thorough, nuanced investigation that digs into Sharon's behavior and the inconsistencies in the evidence. On a lighter note, the idea of Sharon working at Crimson Lights while grappling with such turmoil is oddly comical. Here she is serving coffee and chatting with customers as if she isn't at the center of a murder investigation. It's a jarring contrast that only soaps can pull off, bending the mundane with the dramatic. Fans have painted out how surreal it feels, almost as if the writers are deliberately downplaying her crisis to keep her suspense alive. The parallels between Sharon's self blame and Phyllis's deflection also offer rich narrative potential. Sharon's willingness to take responsibility contrasts sharply with Phyllis's tendency to avoid it. I want to see these differences explored more deeply, but I don't see it happening. Finally, there is the question of why no one has pushed for Sharon to get professional help. Her behavior screams for intervention, yet everyone around her seems content to her spiral. Michael, as her attorney, should be advocating for a psychological evaluation, especially given her history of trauma and mental health struggles. So let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you guys soon in the next video. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Until next time, take care.